Yes, I saw that we had a flurry of calls, so let me pick one or two before we go. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Oga.
Morning, sir.
I want to ask, which would and that which one is more important? Because some people will tell you that once something is done, you are going to have and some will tell you that things are going to go you are committed to forever. Which one is more powerful?
Okay, let me ask him. Well, I don't know. Well, which one?
When they say which one is more powerful, bride price is what the intended husband pays to the family of the bride. Dowry is not in Nigeria. Dowry is where the bride's family pays to the husband.
Okay,
So
that's what dowry is.
that's what dowry
Like in
is.
India.
Yes, so you don't pay dowry in Nigeria, you pay bride price. So when the bride price is paid, you are not bound to somebody forever. You can request for your bride price back and say you are not doing.
In fact, one of the ways by which you can end what we call a traditional marriage, what we call a traditional marriage, but marriage is marriage, but traditional marriage is to return. I think traditionally, it would be to return that bride price.
Yes, you return the bride you are no longer doing. Then the oath in church. When you say the oath is more, and this is where I try to explain to people the difference between a vow and an oath. To every contract, there are witnesses. Now, when a vow is a solemn promise, an oath is also a solemn promise. When you swear, it is a solemn promise. But the difference is that one is in the presence of men. An oath, you call a deity to be the witness. So the difference is one has men as a witness, the other has a deity and as a witness. So when you're taking an oath, you are not calling man as witness, you are calling God or Amadioha or Ifa or all those to now witness what you are saying. But when you now take that oath in church, calling God, and then you beat, you curse, you abuse your spouse, you have already broken the oath. But the funny thing now is that God is not a respecter of person. So some of you are married, but you don't know you have already broken the oath. The first day you raised your hand to that is a breach of contract, because that was not in the oath. You said you would love and to cherish in sickness and in health. When that person was sick, where were you? To love and to cherish. The abuse, the slaps, the beating, the cursing, the emotional. So a lot of oaths have already been broken, and you don't know that you are just sitting down in a marriage that you think, but marriage is not in fact. So when you say one is you belong forever, there is no forever.
Okay, let me ask a tricky question.
Okay.
I'd like people to call in. Let's have their opinion. There's no hard, fast answer on this. I think it should be each to his own. But let me ask Mr. Omosebi, let me wrestle him with it. Which is better? Which is safer? Traditional marriage or going to court? I believe that registry marriages have various implications. With traditional marriages, it's easier to handle if it doesn't go right. So which, and none, I don't think any is sacrosanct. I think the law recognizes both. So, but which would you recommend?
Well,
I told you. Did you see that?
Started.
The situation, I will just talk bluntly. Both are recognized by law. Both are legal. Should you choose traditional? Should you choose? But if you are going to err, you better err on the side of safety. That is traditional. The processes are easy.
Yes.
If you are no longer interested. But traditional also can marry more than one wife.
Yes.
So would a woman agree to some traditions where, you know, a man can take more than one wife?
Yeah, but those who marry in the registry take more than one wife.
No,
Anyway.
you cannot.
No, but they do. It happens.
Yeah, because
Yes.
the party is silent. The moment you raise it, it is an offense. Bigamy is an offense, which can send
If you're involved to jail, really,
yes,
how many years?
I don't know.
You eat beans.
It's about 2 or 3.
Imagine going to jail for being.
About 2 or 3.
You're not a criminal. You're not.
It's between 2 and 4. I'm not sure.
But if you have a child outside wedlock, can your wife report you for bigamy?
No.
No. It's
No,
only
you
if
are not married.
You are not
You
married.
just have-
Okay.
you
That
just
was a
have-
stray bullet.
Yeah, that was.
Stray bullets. Stray bullets are allowed.
And there are some people that marry. There are some women that have children outside too, but do not tell their husbands before they got married. So as men have it, women also have it.
There are some women initially when the move to Abuja started. There were 1 or 2 women that were reported in the civil service in Abuja who had children, and because the husbands, never went there and so on and so forth, they had the children. The husband didn't know, and life goes
In
on.
fact, about 2 years ago,
Yes.
One of the agencies reported that is in charge of the DNA said that 65%
Ah.
of first-born children brought for DNA testing were not the husbands. So Nigeria led the world in paternity fraud.
I have no idea. Wow. So it's more common than we think.
It's very, very, in fact.
But now, since you're a counselor, how
I'm not
does
a
it?
counselor.
Okay, I mean, well, look, not counselor as in local government.
No, even as married.
Those are
no.
counselor.
Now,
But listen, okay, fine, they're involved in these things.
Yeah.
How do you tell? When you listen to this, it will soon be your turn. Learn this. Okay, now, and it was very soon. My brother is getting this. So, how do you look at your wife and tell her? Maybe you have your suspicions. They're looking at this boy doesn't look like. Oh, you a Johnny now. So, how do you then tell your wife that I think I want to do a DNA for this child?
well, if you want to do a DNA, I think you just take the child and go and do the DNA.
You tell him you want to go and buy an ice cream.
You can't. You are the father. You can take your child out.
But if you take your child out and the mother gets to know, I mean, that's you took him to the hospital for DNA test. What do they test? Let me see. What do you test for? Is it the sputum?
Some take the sputum.
Yes.
Some take blood.
So that boy now goes back home to tell them, Mommy, Daddy took me to a vampire. They took some of my blood.
They at times, they funkify it. It's like fun that we want to go to. They don't tell the child that we want to do
DNA. I want to do the DNA,
They
yes.
say we want to take anti-malaria or something,
But it's a tough call, It's that could separate the marriage from,
It separated a lot of marriages.
Yeah.
And it comes with trust. When you no longer trust, there are times that you have cause because you see that the movement of a spouse is very irregular.
Or even the child in question.
Yes, there are some children that look so. They are just like, this child is not mine.
I mean, imagine me. I marry somebody as dark as I am. Dark as I am. And I give birth to Onyiye, and the skin color is follow come. It's not like that.
There's no history in your lineage of anybody that is.
Which history? Well, I'm as dark as this, and then no. It's a pity we don't have YouTube today. You know, see what I'm talking about. Let's take that call. We have a call there. Hello, good morning. We lost it. Hello, good morning. Morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I mean, but I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we don't pay a very good premium to mental health. That is one of the reasons. I don't know the numbers. You would. of those who are involved in this thing, and it turns out that they have some kind of mental problem?
There's a woman. I had a program 2 years ago called Above Abuse. It was strictly for victims of domestic violence and abuse. And the lady came to, it was televised, and TVC News was there. And a lady came forward. She married in her church, and her husband was to be made a pastor. So apparently, anyway, after marriage, they forgot to tell her that the man had been an inpatient in a psychiatric facility for 4 years. Because, they had gotten him, he had gone to the school of theology, they had prayed, and he was now seemingly okay. And in order to be a pastor, he was, they had to get him a wife, so to speak. Was the unfortunate one at that time. She was also looking for a husband, so they connected, and but it was to the knowledge of that church that he knew that the guy was the woman they loved. So whenever the woman would err according to the man, she fell out to kneel down and so and close her eyes, something you teach your child. Then after some time, you take a hanger, the metallic hanger, straighten it, then put it on fire. When it is hot, so her skin, her back, it was as if she was branded.
She was lacerated.
Yeah, so eventually she would tell the pastor to say she should just take it there. So when we were above at this point, she showed us her back. It was like the old slave trade days where, and how do you, some people, it is very important, like you said, a person's character and upbringing is very important, and it's very dangerous. You have to be sure when people are raised in domestic violence and abuse, they have a higher probability for abuse. But it produces two sets of children. There are some hating what their father or their mother is doing to them. They would swear that this will never happen. They would get someone who is now very docile, or they will get someone who has, so it's both ways, but you need to be sure. And you need to, mine is, a lot of us now never saw some things during dating, but now in marriage, they begin to see what they never saw. When you find that the person is imbalanced, there is no prayer, there is no fasting, there is no that will tell you just stay.
What about the miracle?
And some people they are the miracle working God. They are the ones that can turn water to wine, salt to sugar. Those elders and pastors and family members. But don't let them use your own life as a social experiment to see if somebody can change.
Good. Right. What if there's also been cases where marriages are not consummated?
Yeah, that is avoidable marriage automatically.
If
that means the law does not even consider there to be a marriage in the first place.
But that person has to wait for...
No, you don't have to wait for 2 years for that one. It's
okay, what's the time lag? I mean, the guy could be tired from the wedding on day 1, day 2.
And we've had like that, where and that is one of we have a lot of some disadvantages of they don't talk about sex, no sex during marriages, courting or dating or whatever they call it. A lot of people have been able to hide medical conditions when it comes to their reproductive organs. A lot of people have been able to hide those things in that guise of no sex before marriage.
Yes.
So in fact, there was one that it was 3 weeks after wedding. The man was still tired. He would say, from work. So when the daughter went to now see her mother, that the mother was not like, how far? He's okay. He knows how. The daughter said, Cherry, mommy, since so he has not touched me. The mother said, what? That tonight, if she has to rape him, that she must consummate tonight. Now, what kind of nonsense is that? So the mother was on standby. The moment the man came, the lady just locked the door, stripped and said, today. The man shouted, are you crazy? You want to rape me? Or what do you mean? If I'm not interested. And the woman, when the voices now started going high, the man felt a little and now told her just to take it easy, yes, you know. And next thing he prostrated and said, you know, I've had this problem. I know if you can join me, I believe God for my healing. If you can just join your faith with mine. The girl said, healing for what? Is it that
so that is it,
or is it that the man could not even get an erection? And then there was, and he knew. And he would not tell you. He will not tell you until he marries. So that.
But we have another kind. We have another kind that we have. It's that the guy could jolly well be doing it with men. But cannot do with women. It's probably gay. So what you then discover is that, okay, so the woman sees the Titanic rising, okay, but it does not put to work. So that one can present a dilemma for somebody who doesn't catch on things like this. But so such cases is automatic.
It's against the course of nature. That is not normal.
So what do you do in such a case?
You go to the court. The marriage is voidable. You know, the law recognizes man and woman. It does not recognize man and man. So when you submit that this person his sexuality is against the course of nature, it is voidable. You don't need to wait 2 years.
I wonder what you think of the union between man and man anyway.
Me?
Yes.
I don't think.
No, wait, no. I didn't see whether you put it.
No, I said I don't.
No, what I meant is, maybe I should be sorry. It was meant to hostility. I'm just wondering what I think it's a freak of nature, and in most of the cases, they probably don't really have an option. That's where they're wired. That's my thinking.
I don't know about wiring, or I don't know about. But when people, I don't even talk about it because I don't regard it. It's not even in, you know, it doesn't even cross my mind.
Is that from your professional side or religious side?
Both, every side, human side, senses, biology, physics, and psyche,
physical education.
Doesn't even, I don't even consider that at all.
I wish you could see. You would have thought I invited him to let's go to the next room. Okay, let me cool down by getting two people to talk. Where's Philip? I wish you get him water or something to cool him down.
No, I'm fine, sir.
Hello. Yes, good morning. Oh yeah, now you're on to yes. So yeah. Why the waste time? You have only 1 minute.
Good morning.
Because you think it's a bad time, you want to address the call. Good morning. Am I on to? Yes. Wow.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You say you are separated.
You are separated. Your case is even in court. You have court documents to prove that you've instituted a divorce proceeding and you're just waiting for a decree to annul it. So how can you now put married as your status? No, you are separated. You can't.
Especially when you want to go and get visa. What if they call your wife?
They'll not call your wife.
Let me
No, you can't. But this is a problem, like I said, Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah.
How can people be in court for divorce for 15 years? What is going on?
But imagine you're talking about divorce, and this divorce will continue with your life. What about those who are charged by circumstance for robbery or whatever? And are there for 10, 15 years. Yes. And in reality, they didn't commit the whatever.
Still awaiting trials. Lots of awaiting trials, sir.
That's a story for another day. Okay, let me pick another call because today is the day of callers, really. Hello, good morning. Morning. So what's the point now? Who is one now? What do you want to do?
In what position? As in, what do you want to do? The man is dead. The mother has taken her children.
Her children. So what do you want to do? No.
The mother has, in the death of a spouse, the other spouse is charged with protecting, providing.
Is it absolute?
It's that. So you can't go up to collect children from the. If you say that we want a visit or you want to be part of the children, maybe it's a brother, you want to be part of their lives, let them know their family. You have to start by supporting her. If a woman that you have not given a dime, the husband's family has not even helped her to find out how she's taking care of the children, and then you now say you want to take the children. Even I will not. She disappeared. You have a number. You said she went to Port Harcourt. How did you know?
I'll go and report to the police. Don't let's waste too much time here. Well, missing persons.
Oh yes, I have already started on that. I've already started talking to. I have 2 people who I consult from time to time. I am also working on that. I need to get 1 or 2 permissions, and I will be able to.
Then you also now need to get a traditional person. Then you need to get El Kanka. Then you also need to get from the grill. Then you also need there is a funny country. But it's valid.
Yes,
valid.
I understand why,
valid.
Because not everybody, the 2 major religions, and so we have to balance it. And it's a very. I've been working on that.
Okay.
But my work is plenty.
Yes. Look at you, you're still young and vibrant. Look at me, I'm rickety. I'm like a beat up Mulu.
You are fresh.
I'm not fresh.
You are
This
vintage.
paint or Danny.
You're vintage.
Hey, I'm
still coming.
I'm like a beat up.
I have a package.
You're vintage.
I'm like a beat up. I don't want any package now. I'm on retirement. What kind of package would it be?
I have no
It reminds me of my friend Gabriel. What's his name? Ibedion, who did my East class team with him. And one day he was working at National Theatre, so Fela said he did something for Fela. I did a film for Fela. Then I'll give you 1 parcel, bring and come. So they brought the parcel there. Fela said we should do very nicely wrapped and everything. So in the office, I will go to the for me. He opened it. I said, it was a big pile of wood. So I don't already.
No, my package is different.
No, I don't want package. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Hello.
1 minute.
Hello. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Morning. Sorry, Pastor. Sorry. He was in laugh. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Amen.
I want to ask you a question. My question is, how is people of mental maturity or age maturity? Because a lot of things that we see happen to somebody, something very well, but I not realize things that are going wrong. So I want to know how to be more mental.
Our age.
Your age. Okay, let me give my suggestion before he comes. I think it's a bit of a mix. I don't think age. I've seen young people marry and they've been very, very responsible. I've seen older people marry and they've been very irresponsible. I've seen matured people marry, they've been, so I think it's a bit of both. Or what do you think?
Well, I always say that the wisdom of Solomon has nothing to do with the age of the listener.
Okay.
Yes, so I do not believe wisdom is in age, because fools also can become old fools. So I think it is a matter of character.
Yeah.
The kind of person you are getting married to. The issue is that we have a lot of mismatches. You had no business marrying this kind of person
In the first
place. So all you will be doing is enduring and attachment. When they say marriage is tough, marriage is difficult, it's like a threat. It's no longer something you will be willing to get into. It's more of a threat. Marriage is this. You have to have suru. You have to. Why am I going to war? Am I going to? My marriage is not. I'm married, and my marriage is not.
The one of the things that we are told these days is man has lost the connect with God and with his what they both call it, with his chi. Igbos call it chi. Yorubas call it eleda. There is something in you. There is something in you, in every individual, that will always tell you and give you some form of direction. But we don't listen. We don't listen to ourselves, and we have lost the connection with God. A lot of us have contracted our connection with God to pastors, to this, to that, soothsayers. If you live your life well and you listen, you spend time, a quiet time, something will tell you, hey, this one that, let me do a direct translation from Ele to Veteseboyi, this one that you put your leg inside. There is something in you that would determine, because already you would know yourself up to a point, and you would know whether this person you are dealing with, there's some synergy between you. But then because of pressure, Olumide, a lot of pressure, societal pressure, I don't think it's good for you to wake up in the morning and begin to look for a husband or wife. I think you need to relax, live your life. The day that person comes, you will know. In about 6 cases out of 10.
It's friendship. I think that if you cannot be friends, you cannot be lovers. It is friendship. That is what you first build. That is the first step to.
But notice is everybody is in a hurry. Everybody wants to go.
Is married.
That is one. Yes.
When I was 14, I got married at 42.
For 1 second, I thought you said 14, so I got confused.
No.
It's okay. Now I know.
When I was 14, and I wasn't. I'm an only son and the last born. I just woke up and I had to be my compound. I just started hearing prayer and I jumped to God. My mother had surrounded the house with
prayer warriors.
Don't shame me. I was not just. I was dating. I had not found anybody, and I refused the pressure. It became so. If I, as a man, could be going through that, where is the? Then I can imagine what women are going through. But I was dogged because I had seen enough. But when I met my wife, when I even got married, they just saw pictures on Facebook. It just came, and and nobody. It's not written on my forehead that I married that. But marriage is not even a mark of achievement. Lots of influential people in this world. John the Baptist was not married. Paul was not married. Even Jesus Christ did not get married. So marriage is choice. But when you make it mission, a mission statement, mandatory, you must, and at the end of the day, they now marry wrong because of pressure. Anybody that just came to just say yes, let's just take me out of this.
Manage.
Marriage is not for manage. Marriage is not a test of your endurance. Marriage is not to tempt you. Marriage is to help you, to make someone bring in something you do not have, and you to bring in something that the person does not have.
I wish you would do, during your program, I wish you would do something that discusses the various arrangements that you have in other countries now. Because in other countries you have partnership, you have this, partnerships and so on and so forth, that makes life easier for people. I wish you would discuss it at your next. Let's start killing.
We marry, there is no partnership, and you marry, you live in the same house. Partnerships, you don't have to live in the same house. You stay in your house, I'm in my house. Whenever we need each other, she can come in, but we are not married. You just don't want that word.
Because for example, there are certain persons that cannot live with the third party.
Yes.
There are people like that, there's nothing wrong with them.
They can't.
They're just structured like that, and you do have some matured marriages in Lagos, and not at least of one, where the husband and wife live apart. But guess what? They love each other. They're doing well. But especially the husband, because of his profession, is at variance with the wife's whatever. So they live apart conveniently.